Hey, hey, I think we did it. I think we did it. Hello, my friend. Welcome. I'm so excited. Welcome to our 30-day live. 30, I said 30-day live. Let's start over. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Get Some Z's 3-day challenge. I'm live here in the You Are Well group only. It's so exciting. I don't know, I have gone live in my groups not too often. So if you are here, let me know. Let me know if you are here. Let me know where you're coming in from. Hi, Christy. Hello. This is so strange. Like I can't see myself, but that's okay. It's just weird. Are you ready to learn some stuff? This is so exciting. I have some new people. If you don't know, my name is Denise Marie Nichols, and I have a company called One Unique You. And in this group is You Are Well. So I am really focusing a lot on this group. I have some really excellent things planned, and we're going to start out with a sleep challenge. I, polled some people, asked some friends, and what I'm noticing is that people are having trouble sleeping, and I don't like that. I feel terrible about that. I'm going to try, let's see. I'm going to try one thing to see. We'll see if it works, if this is like better. Let's see. I have like multiple tabs open. So I'm just giving it a minute as well. Oh boy, what did I just mess that up tonight? Oh no, I didn't. I'm going to give it a minute to see if who's here. Oh, there I am. Okay, good. So I'm going to shut my sound. This way I want to be able to see the comments. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be very different from anything I've ever done. Oh, this is going to be so good. If my internet works good, it's going to be great. Okay, it says a strong signal. Oh, look at that. All right. I think that, okay, this is good. This is interesting, but this is good. Okay, this is very different from anything I've ever done. So we're giving it a go. What is going to happen here is I'm going to go live in this group only. So this is a private group. Okay, so only members can get in, and that's how I want it. I think that's going to be good. It'll be a safe space for all of us. And we're going to start out with, if you're here, say hi. I see Christy's here. If you come across this and you're watching the replay, let me know. Just say hashtag replay. This way I know you're here. So a little bit of how, in general, this group is going to work. I have guides at the top, brand new, not a lot in there, like barely anything, but it's going to get filled up, believe me. So we're going to start out with sleep. So for the next 3 days, I am live today at 7, and I will post this today at 7, tomorrow at 6, Wednesday might be 8, but that is going to work out just fine. Each day, if you don't know me, I am a teacher by trade. Been teaching over 20 years. And so tonight, everyone gets homework. And so we have 2 prizes. So if you invite a friend and they answer all the questions, please, if you haven't, go back and answer the questions. I changed them up. If they come in, answer questions, and then I will ask them who referred them, you both get a prize like automatically. At the end of this, I will give some homework, and whoever finishes the homework by tomorrow night's live will receive it's called a lepidolite. Here it is. It is like an amethyst, and this is important and spectacular. It is a crystal, and it is known for its soothing properties. It promotes calmness, and it lowers intense feelings. So this is going to go to a lucky winner who does their homework and finishes it by 6 o'clock tomorrow. How am I going to know that? So every day at 8 o'clock, whether I'm still live or not, I'm going to have a homework post, and it's going to give you your homework, which is going to be usually a question. If you could just drop your answers in there, then I know your homework is done. Okay, so we're going to have homework day 1 post, homework day 2 post, and homework day 3 post. Okay, so because this is like super new, I want to let you know like what to expect over the next 3 days. So today we're really going to talk about why can't you sleep, some ideas, and the benefits of sleep. And then we'll talk about the homework, the homework is going to be more of a self-reflection to really help you hone in on those reasons for sleep. Now, when I talk about why can't I sleep, I'm not going to hit all the reasons. There's like lots of reasons that people don't sleep, but these are some major reasons that most people find is an issue. So that's today. Tomorrow, oh, I'm excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about routines. And while you may think you have one, and maybe you do, but are you sticking with it? And what kind of routine is it? So we're going to talk a lot about routines tomorrow. And then on day 3, we're going to talk about sleepy drinks and remedies and the art of meditation. So on Wednesday, come prepared, hopefully, because it's a little bit later, in a nice quiet spot, or you can, do the replay in a nice quiet spot. And we're actually going to do some practice meditation so that you can actually replay this if you'd like to help you sleep. I'm going to have a different background, a little quieter, a little darker, that kind of thing. So we're going to just get this party started. Let's see, I'm just making, I don't know, it says I'm commenting as not even myself, so who knows, but I'll get the kinks out technology wise. Let's talk about something quick, sleep benefits. We know that sleep is beneficial, like everybody knows that, but do we know really why and how beneficial it is? First of all, your body needs time to rest. And while it really doesn't matter what age, all ages need this. As you get older, you need a little more because we have a little more that needs to be repaired. So, when you get older, you need a little more things that need to be fixed. But even when you're younger, I've, talked about this. When kids are young, when we were young or your kids were young, we always push sleep. And then they get to like teenagers and early 20s and they're like, oh, they didn't need that. That was me. If you didn't read my blog post that dropped today, go ahead and read it. Like in my 20s, I didn't need that much sleep. I love sleep. I've always loved sleep. But in my 20s, I was like, meh, I don't really need it, but I did get decent sleep in my 20s. In my 30s is when I had my kids, and like for 20 years, practically, I got no sleep. And between the kids, and then I became a full-time, working full-time and a mom and a side hustle, I never slept. And it's not good. It really affected more than just, oh, I'm like sleepy, I need more caffeine. We'll talk more about it. Also, sleep, believe it or not, strengthens your immunity. And if you've been following me for any length of time, I talk a lot about immunity. And that's a whole nother live and challenge. But your immunity, most likely your gut, but when you sleep, you are giving your good bacteria a chance to grow and flourish, to kill the bad bacteria, and to help you get stronger so you're not sick. So believe it or not, sleep helps your immunity. It also reduces stress and cortisol. So drop a thumbs up or something if you notice that on the days you don't sleep well or you go to bed too late, you wake up with a bloated belly. I'm going to raise my hand on that one. I started to notice that during the week, I would have a bloated belly. Excuse me. And look at it. I'm commenting as not even myself. Can I comment as myself? I would notice that I had a bloated belly. And it was very strange because on the weekend, when like Friday nights, like my eating day, on the weekends I would wake up with a flatter tummy. And I'm like, I don't understand it. Till it started to occur to me, holy moly, it's because I slept. Because I work Monday through Friday, so I would sleep longer, get my recommended amount, and then the belly was, no matter what I ate, it's so strange. So that was weird, but it is a thing. When you're stressed out, you release cortisol, which is bad. Cortisol is excellent if your friend is under a car and you're lifting that car up to save your friend. That's like a cortisol. Cortisol is good for short-term stressful situations. But if you're living in a long-term stressful situation where you are constantly producing cortisol, that is not good at all for your body. And I have to say, since the COVID started, many of us are living 24/7 with a higher level of cortisol than we should. So sleep actually will reduce stress and reduce that cortisol production. Believe it or not, also, sleep helps for maintaining a healthy weight. Now, part of it is obvious. If you're up longer, you might tend to munch more. So that is like completely obvious on that one. But also, it helps with appetite. It helps digest. It gives your body time to use the food that you have eaten and to use it for what it's needed for, right? For energy and all of that business. So it is helpful in maintaining or even losing weight if you get the proper amount of sleep. And then finally, it does help lower the risk of heart disease and diabetes. Really a lot of things. Again, it has to do with that immunity piece and that rest and relaxation in building. I am going to ask if I'm blurry because on my side, I look super blurry. And I can't see comments, so not sure, but that's okay. Like I said, this is kind of a new group, kind of a new thing I'm starting. So if you're finding this valuable, definitely invite a friend. This will be up for the replay, and it'll stay up in the guides, for sleep, like forever. Every day I will give something different out for those that do the homework, things that will be nice and helpful. So yeah. Okay, now here comes the good part. Here are some reasons as to why you might not be able to sleep. I started with the most obvious one, which is caffeine. So you may say, I could drink all kinds of caffeine and that doesn't bother me at all. And that might be true, or it might not. I can tell you up until about 5 years ago, that was completely me. I could drink a cup of coffee right before bed and fall soundly asleep and be fine. Over the last 5 years, I've noticed that caffeine absolutely bothers me. I will not be able to sleep. And then I also get restless leg syndrome. I don't know if anyone can relate to restless leg syndrome. I get restless leg syndrome, and it's kind of like the feeling where your legs want to move. It's weird. It's nothing like you can't put your finger on it, but it is. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah. So if I drink caffeine after 2 o'clock, I get restless leg syndrome. It's the worst. I can't stand it. So possibly if you are having trouble sleeping, it may be because you have, it might be a caffeine change in your life. Okay. So there's times that, caffeine maybe was fine your whole life and then suddenly it's not. So you might not notice it. You might not think about it because you're like, caffeine's never bothered me. But we do all change many times in our lives. They say every 7 years, I don't know, but caffeine could be the culprit. So what I'd like you guys to do is to try different things to see what works and what doesn't. So number one, maybe cut the caffeine out a little earlier. And that includes pop or soda, as they say. I say pop. So do that and see if that is helpful, because that is a really big reason. Another one is, and this is kind of newer, and that's exposure to blue light too late. Now I'm already blowing it because what is recommended is to not look at and that includes your phone, your TV, your computer, iPad, anything like that for 3 hours before bed. Now you may say, that is not realistic. And it might not be. It isn't for me. But what you might want to do is cut it, again, start out slow, maybe an hour before bed. Now that doesn't count music. Like you can, like if some people play, my husband uses his iPad to play like rain, you know, the sound of rain. That helps him out. But if you need to do something like that, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I listen to like manifestations, you know, while I'm sleeping. That's totally okay. But generally speaking, don't, what is happening here? Don't like scroll your phone, TikToks, Reels, looking at posts. Like try to at least cut that out. Start with an hour and see if you can get it even longer. Because what happens is that blue light messes up your circadian rhythm. Okay, it makes your brain think it's daytime and it's not time to sleep. So that is a big one for many people. It's kind of a newer study, but it's showing to be absolutely true. They even say the TV, depending on how close or far it is, but that part I don't know. Okay, are you ready for the third one? Alcohol. I know, believe it or not. So many people like to have like a drink before bed. And while it may like make you drowsy and fall asleep, what happens is there's a rebound effect. So X hours later, depends how much alcohol you've drank, X hours later, your body has, you know, the alcohol has dissipated and you get the exact opposite effect. There's no more sleepy. It actually may wake you up. So have you ever like drank something and then like suddenly at like 3 a.m. you're like, what the heck? I'm like up. Or you got up to go potty and then you can't fall back asleep after you've been drinking. It might be the alcohol. Alcohol has been known to do that. Alcohol has been known to do that. So it can give you that rebound effect where you fall asleep, but you can't stay asleep. So don't use alcohol as like the reason, like the helpful remedy, the helpful drink to help you sleep. We'll talk more on that on Wednesday, but alcohol will not be on our list. Also, definitely one of the big ones, I know you guys, I know, is going to be stress and an overactive mind. We will talk more about that as well on Wednesday. But, you know, just laying there and letting your mind roll and roll in the thoughts and the thoughts and the thoughts. Or when you're stressed, as you know, your blood pressure goes up. Your blood pressure goes up. And so you're like kind of all tight, you know, and what are we supposed to be doing when when we want to go to sleep is we're supposed to be relaxing. We're supposed to be calm. Our blood pressure should be lower. Our heart rate should be slowing down as we prepare for sleeping. And when you're stressed, all of that's ramped up. All of that's ramped up. You guys, I'm queen of overactive mind. If it's not a worry, it's something I got to do that I didn't do, things I got to not forget, worries, more worries, always with the worries. So I will have things to help on that one as well. Overactive mind is, I feel in this day and age is like number one. And it has been for like 2 years. So between, you know, the COVID and all the worry that went with that and all the news that we were listening to in that. And now a lot of it is like economics, jobs, you know, all that kind of stuff, the price of things, how do we afford things, right? So, and all of that stress affects your relationships with your families, you know? And so you might be thinking like, oh, I was just stressed over the money and I barked at my kids or my spouse or whatever. And then you start feeling bad about it. And then your mind starts rolling around, you know, or thinking, and I know it's summer, so I'm hoping that we're a little lighter on this thought. But then that's a thing too, like, you know, you want to go on road trips, but oh my God, the gas. I'm a teacher, so I do work summer school. So I work this month, but you know, other people don't have summer school. And so they're working. And I know I'm like cringing every day because I drive about 30 minutes a day to and 30 back. That's an hour, the gas. And so these are things that are like, oh my God. And if you're low and if you're like, you're weighing, what do I pay? What do I not pay? Do I charge it? Oh my God, my charges. You know, your mind can get insane. So overactive mind, I want to say, is in this time period we're living in is probably the first as far as sleeping and sleeping problems. And then finally, a bedtime routine, believe it or not. I remember, God, being younger, and like you would come home late, you know, you were like late teens, early 20s, and you would just plop in bed. Well, I would take up my contacts, and then I would just plop in bed, never taking off my makeup. Sometimes didn't even take off my clothes, probably took off my bra because like I do that first. And even now, if you're like studying too late, or if you're watching TV and, you know, all these things where you like fall asleep as opposed to intentionally going to sleep, that can hurt. That can hurt you're fully sleeping through the night. So you're saying like, like me, I could fall asleep on a rock like almost any time unless my mind is overactive. But I don't always stay asleep. Right? I don't always stay asleep. And definitely play around with when you drink fluids. And while fluids are awesome, right? For me, like right around 8 o'clock is when I have to cut any fluids. Otherwise, you can guarantee I will be waking up in the middle of the night to go potty. For me, I usually go right back to sleep. But sometimes I don't. And then you're stuck. So that's an easy fix. Like just play with the timing, you know, of when you go to sleep and, you know, this and that. And then so you don't have to get up and pee. Finally, I'm going to just talk about time. Like there's charts out there. You can Google it. Like how much sleep should I be getting at my age? They say younger people should get more, middle-aged, and then as you get older, you should get less. Honestly, my sleep, my optimal sleep, do you want to hear my optimal sleep? Like optimal sleep. My optimal sleep is 10 hours. Do I get 10 hours? No. Like that's almost half the day sleeping. I remember being pregnant with my firstborn, and that was probably the last time I got consistent 10-hour sleep. I was off of work 2 weeks before I actually had him. It just was, I got lucky. It happened to be during spring break, I think, or Easter break. And I got 10 hours a night because I didn't have anything to do but get up and like clean and wait for the No. So that's not changed for me. That was something way back in the day when I remember being in middle school and all my friends were like, oh, we were up and we were watching this show and that show. And I was in bed at 8. I like sleep. And I think you know yourself. So just because I need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, not need, but 8 to 10 hours of sleep is optimal for me. That doesn't mean it is for you. I know plenty of people that feel really good after 6. 6 hours is good for them. So really, again, if you're waking up tired, then yeah, you need more sleep. If you're waking up, you know, great, then probably not. There is something to be said about timing. I could get 8 hours of sleep if I go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8. But if I go to bed at, what would that be, 10 and get up at 6, I don't feel as well. I am not a early morning person. I'm a morning-ish person. Like 8 o'clock is a really good time for me. But we're all different. Some people are like, I know someone that goes to bed at 4 a.m. and gets up at 11 and has done that forever. And that fits that person. Then I know other people that go to bed at 9 o'clock and they get up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and that works for them. So some of this, you really do have to know your own self and, you know, where you sit. And some of it, even if you know yourself, it doesn't matter, right? I like to get up at 8 o'clock, but I need to get up at 5:45. So you have to like, you know, play around with your timing a little bit. But the routines, having a routine that you do every single day, like every single day. And it's not just any old routine. Like I said, we're going to talk about routines tomorrow. There's things you should add into your routine. It doesn't have to be long. Like if you can make it a little longer, great. But if you can't, that's okay too. Because I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to some of us, our kids are older. Some of us have no kids. Some of us have spouses. Some of us have no spouses. Some of us have little kids. I get it. So these are just things to strive for. Okay, let's put it that way. These are things to strive for. To I really, really want, this group is called You Are Well. So we are going to do a lot of things in here. And even if you eat really good, and if you exercise, and if you do your meditation, one of the most important things. Now, same thing goes for if you eat like crap but get lots of sleep. That's not good too. So there really is like a symbiotic relationship with all the things. But I wanted to start with sleep because I feel like many people I've talked to have trouble. And a lot of people I talk to are people my age and over. I am 54. So a lot of the over 40 crowd are starting to feel like they're having difficulty sleeping for different reasons. It could be perimenopause, menopause, all kinds of things going on with us as we hit our 40s and beyond. So that's why I thought this would be a good start for us. So yeah, I didn't want to make these long. I wanted to make them very watchable for you. So this is day 1. And the homework is going to be I can't remember what I said. Isn't that great? What did I say for the homework? I think I said the first day's homework, is to put down at least one of your challenges. Like I went through, why can't I sleep in the benefits? So if you can look for the post, it's going to go up at 8 o'clock tonight on Monday. Under that post, it'll say homework day 1. Under that post, there's directions, but just choose 1 or 2 reasons why you think you can't sleep. And I really want you to think about it. It doesn't have to be what I said. If there's something else, I am so open because I want to help. Okay. I want to help you sleep. And if it's something that I can fit in the other 2 days, I totally will, So list some of the reasons why you can't sleep. Sit with it. Wait a minute. And then really think about, like, what do you think it is? Is it something I listed that you like, oh, I didn't even know? Or is it something different? Okay. Is it something that I didn't list that you know for sure? Like one of the I didn't list husband. Like one of the things I had trouble with for a really long time is my husband had lost hearing in his ears since he was a kid, but it's getting worse as he gets older, right? So he does have the TV on, and the TV's freaking loud. Plus, he wears the CPAP machine. It's freaking loud as well. Those are 2 really loud things, man. So that I have to be sleeping before he comes because it's too loud for me. Once I'm out, it doesn't wake me up. But like, you could just put husband. Does he maybe, then before he got the CPAP machine, of course, he had snoring. That was really loud. Like he would fall asleep before me and like, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even. So you could have a completely different reason than I listed. Put it down there. Put it down there. Let's see. I can't help you with your husband, other than push him, get a CPAP machine, wear earplugs. I don't know. Those kinds are hard. But, we each have our own individual and unique, hence the one unique you, the unique situations in our lives as to why we maybe you have pain. Maybe when you sleep, before I used to have hip pain, I had bursitis. So laying on either side hurt my hips. I dealt with that now, and now my hips are good, but that was thing. So whatever it is, okay, it'll pop up at 8 o'clock. Whoever is, there's a giveaway. If you hopped on late, there's a giveaway of lepidolite. I never say it right. Here. It's like a purple amethyst. It's tumbled, and it does promote calm sleep. It'll come in a cute bag. It lowers intense emotions. So this could be part of your routine. to help you have a good night's sleep. So that's it for tonight. And I will see you tomorrow is going to be a 6 o'clock day. So I will see you, yeah, tomorrow's a 6 o'clock day. So I will see you same place. Again, same rules apply. If you invite a friend, I will welcome them with open arms and have them say who invited them. I'm going to do a welcome video, so, you know, we can put it under there. And then you guys will get a free gift because I really appreciate growing this group and helping people get in here and learn some stuff. And I'm hoping to learn as well. So we can all get healthy together. To what end? To the end of a happy, long, healthy life. Because that is the reason we're here. That is what God wants. It's our abundance, giving and taking and sharing. So, all right. Mwah. Good night. Hopefully you have a good night's sleep today. Don't forget to do your homework, and I will see you tomorrow at 6. See you later. Bye.